Good day, guys. So, in this video, we are talking about uh, 4 bar 4 bar mechanism and Grashof's criterion. So, first, let us define what is 4 bar mechanism and how important it is. So, 4 bar chain or 4 bar mechanism. 4 bar chain or 4 bar mechanism are mechanism composed only of lower pairs. These mechanisms are popular because of its simplicity and flexibility. So, a 4 bar linkage, also called a 4 bar mechanism, is the simplest movable closed chains. So, chains linkage. It consists of 4 bodies called bars or links connected in a loop by 4 joints. Generally, the joints are configured so the links move in parallel plane. So, when discussing 4 bar mechanism, it is customary to refer to the mechanism as input lever type, output lever type. So, for example, a crank rocker is a 4 bar mechanism that has a crank input and a rocker output, and a rocker crank is a 4 bar mechanism that has a rocker input and crank output. So um what do you mean uh so how important it is this mechanism? So it is important today because kanang mga machine mo kuan gid ka uh, uh, have a motion of rotation or continuous rotation, such as uh, internal combustion engine in this rotary engine, and then the steam engine used in early aircraft, quick return mechanism or engine or crank shaper mechanism. So, like for example, this internal combustion engine. So this internal combustion engine is dapat nagi continuous rotation. So para ang at this point sa kuan kanang cylinder head, so mag-need siya og high pressure para makumbust ang or naay combustion or explosion nga mahitabo. So para makuan siya uh, aron para maka-continue ang iyang combustions, so dapat mo-continue sa daang rotation sa iyang crankshaft or ganyan. So let us talk about Grashof's criterion. So what is Grashof's criterion? Grashof's criterion is useful in determining if one link in a 4 bar mechanism can complete one revolution. We will consider the gross motion capabilities of 4 bar mechanism. So as is clear, the motion of link in a system or in a mechanism must satisfy the constraints imposed by their connections. However, even for the same chain in the same constraint, different motions transformations can be obtained. So, from a practical point of view, it is of interest to know if the given chain, at least one of the links will be able to make a complete revolutions. So, kaning Grashof's criterion, so mo ni ang method para ma-determine nato ang usa ka mechanism sa usa ka mechanism ang iyang usa ka link maka full continuous rotations or like maka kuan na motion into 360 degrees. So unsaon nato pag determine. So pag-determine ani in terms of the dimensions of their links. So nako ipakita ninyo equations para mao ni ang gamiton kung unsaon pag-inspect if it is maka-complete revolution ba siya or dili through their dimensions of the length. So first, we have to talk about muna sa kinematic inversions. Kinematic change becomes a mechanism when one of the links in the chain becomes a frame. The process of choosing different links and the chains as frame is known as kinematic inversions. In the process of kinematic inversions, the relative movement of the links, the mechanism derived remains unchanged. Okay. So sa kinematic inversions, so naay kanang it depends unsay mga location sa iyahang mga link like ang input link naka-adjacent by frame or our fixed link. So sa kana at that position lahi siya og kanang nasa iyahang unique nga motions. So if the input link na sa coupler nga side, so nasa say lahi nga unique nga motions. So mako na to matakol na to in kuan later. So this illustrations is an example for 4-bar mechanisms. So we have link 1. So in this link 1, it is called the fixed link nato or the frame. And the link L2 is, we called it the input link. In the L3, we called it the coupler link. In the L4 or length 4 is, sinatawag na to, it is a follower link. So this input link, so dapat mo satisfy siya sa kanang law concept sa Grashof's criterion nga maka full rotation continuous rotations. Yeah. So if this kuan unsay purpose aning coupler? So ang purpose aning coupler is mo ni mo guide sa ato ang follower link. Mo mo guide sa motion sa follower link. So if kaning input link nato mo rotate into 360 degrees. So ang kaning follower mo oscillate pod less than by 180 or yan. So ang kaning kaniyang coupler is man mo guide kung unsay motion sa link mo i-transmit into or guide into unsa say motion sa ato ang follower link. Okay. So a Grashof's change. 4-bar mechanism is considered as a Grashof's change if it is satisfied. So mo ni siya nga equations. We have length minimum plus length maximum is less than by L prime plus L double prime. So where ang L min is equals to the length of the shortest link in the 4-bar mechanism. And the Lmax is equals to where the Lmax is the length of the longest link in the mechanism. And L prime and double prime is is equals to the length of the two remaining link the mechanism. So kung ato ni kuan compare diri sa kaning illustration. So this link 1 or our kuan our frame or fixed link is mo ni ato ang longest length sa kato nga equation or longest link. In the input link mo na ato ang L2 mo na ato ang shortest link. In the coupler and the follower is mo na ang either L prime ng usa or L double prime ng coupler or ang follower by ang L prime or L double prime. So mo na ang two remaining link. So if mo satisfy ang if ni nga equation mo satisfy katong mga illustration, so it means that the four bar that the that mechanism can full or can complete to make a complete revolutions. Okay. So inversions of Grashof chains. So the inversions of a Grashof's chain depends on whether shortest link is connected to the ground by one end, two ends, or no end. There are three possible mechanisms. They are double crank mechanism. So mo ni ang mga example sa Grashof's chains. We have the double crank mechanism, double rocker mechanism, and crank and rocker mechanisms. So moto, the inversion chain, Grashof chains depends on the locations on the shortest length. So sa shortest length ato ang reference. So moto kong gingon nga position lain-lain nga position sa input link nasa sila unique nga motions. So let us example or illustration for this example of the Grashof's chains. So we have these illustrations. So crank and rocker mechanism. So crank, what do you mean crank? Crank, a lever that is capable of continuous rotation. So mo ato ang input link. Dapat maka-continuous rotation siya. And what do you mean a rocker? A rocker is a lever that can only oscillate between limit positions and it's not capable of continuous rotation. So mo ang rocker nato is mo nato ang follower link or follower link. So it limited ra iyang position. It can cause oscillations through sa ato ang input link. So atong i-inspect kung kani nga dimensions is capable ba siya nga maka full rotations this crank and rocker mechanism. So we have this uh, so our L1 is mo na to ang length of longest length. So we have L1, the longest length, plus the shortest length. We have L2. Dapat less than by the remaining length, or the L3 plus L4. Okay. So the L1 we have 55, and the L2 we have 20. So in L3 we have 40 plus 45, or atong L4 is 45. Okay. So 55 plus 20 we have 75. So 40 plus 45 we have 5. So not satisfy siya sa equation sa Grashof's criterion. So it means that this mechanism can fall, or capable for full rotations. Okay? So we have, so sa, so kani maka full rotation siya, like that. And then uh, the link CD will oscillate less than 180 degrees. So kani oscillate, uh, so it depends sa motion pod sa iyahang input link. So ganyan. So we have double crank mechanism. So double crank mechanism, if the shortest length is naa sa frame or the fixed length. So ato kuan, so mo to sa inversions of kuan chains. So ang position sa link, so nalahi na nasa frame. So different ra sa crank and rocker mechanism, kay ang ato ang shortest link mo ay atong input link. So nasa iyahang pong unique nga motions, like that. So ang motion sa input link maka full rotation siya, in this oscillate less than 180. But sa double crank mechanism, so duha na ang iyahang maka full rotations. We have this link AB and the link DC. So na sila unique nga motions, di ba? So ato i-inspect gyapon if mo satisfy ba siya sa Grashof's criterion. So we have shortest length, we have length AD lang. Signify nato is to length AD plus the longest length is saman length BC less than by length AB plus length BC. So length AD, which is 20 plus 55, and then length AB is 40 plus length BC is 45. So 20 plus 55 equals to 75, and 40 plus 45 is equals to 85. So this mechanism na ay capable to full rotations. So another example. So double rocker mechanism. Double rocker mechanism, if the shortest link BC is the coupler, or assigned to be the floating link. So tanaw na to, ang iyang shortest link is mao na pod ang ato ang coupler. So sa lahi-lahi nga position, unique pod ang ilahang motions. So mao gyapon if we inspect kung satisfy ba siya sa Grashof criterion. So the longest shortest link we have length BC plus length mao na to ang longest length. And then length plus length lang. Okay, kana. So length AB 55 plus length BC no length BC is 20 plus 55. Length AD 45 plus length BC is 40. So 75, 45 plus 40, so 85. So capable to full rotation gyapon. Yan din. So we have non-Grashof chain. So most as a Grashof chains, when the sum of the lengths of the longest and shortest link is greater than sum of the lengths of the intermediate pair of links. In a non-Grashof chain, there is no link capable of rotation in full capable of rotating in full rotation. Therefore, it is not useful for motor-driven applications. So, this siya applicable sa mga gamit ron sa mga mechanisms or mga machines. Kay di man siya maka-continuous rotations. So, we have these equations. So, moto L min or minimum plus L maximum L prime plus L double or the greater than by L prime plus L double prime, where L min is equals to the shortest length, L max is equals to length of the longest length, and the L prime and L double prime is the length of two remaining link. Okay. So the inversions of non-Grashof chains. The inversions of a non-Grashof chain depends on the location of the longest link in the mechanism. So sa Grashof chains, ang ato ang reference is ang position ang position sa kanang shortest length. So sa non-Grashofs is the longest length. So all inversions are double rocker mechanisms, which means two lengths can oscillate more than 180 degrees. So sa Grashoffs is less than by 180 na ang ma-oscillate. So sa koan, sa in non-Grashoffs, pwede siya it's more than by 180 degrees and cross the frame line to make a mirror image configurations. So we have these examples. So inward mechanisms and inward outward mechanisms and outward mechanisms. So these are the examples of the non-Grashof chains, the mechanisms. So so ato i-inspect kung non-Grashofs ba siya. So we have these illustrations. So inward mechanisms. So sa inward mechanisms, the longest link AD is held fixed or assigned to be the frame. Then link AB, AB, the longest link AD, and then the link AB, and the length DC will cross the frame. So mo cross na siya into frame. And then kanipod ano. So line AD both inward oscillations. So na mirror configuration or mirror nga mahitabo. So unsay forma na. So naging ani siya na. So at some instance naa na ang mechanism diri. Ato ang position sa ato ang mechanism. So we have that. Sorry. Ganyan. Yan. So na ay mirror configurations. So this one, this this link input in the this shortest and this remaining link is have a oscillate more than 180 degrees and crossed by link AD. So ato inspect kung nasatisfy ba siya into non-Grashofs. So non-Grashofs. So we have L shortest link, we have link AB. And the longest link we have the frame or the link AD is greater than by two remaining link, which is length BC plus length DC. So length AB we have 20 plus 50, and then uh, 30. Length BC is 30 plus length DC is 35. So this is 70 and this equation is 65. It means that this value or this equations ni satisfy siya into non-Grashof's chain. So we have inward outward mechanism. So inward outward mechanism, the longest link AB kana adjusting to the frame. So mo sa na iyang mo sa iyang position sa inward outward mechanism sa longest length. So nasa na sa iyang pong sa unique nga motions. So then length AB and length DC will cross so the frame. Yan. So naay motion na hitabo sa link AB, mo-cross siya into link AD, and it will oscillate by more than 180 degrees. But mm, sakto. So in this figure shows the mechanism in its extreme configurations. No, that uh, we have inward outward dying oscillation. So the link AB have a inward directions, and in the length DC we have the outward nga direction sa motions. So mo na siya. So let us figure out kung satisfy ba siya sa iyahang na-satisfy ba siya sa non-Grashof chain. So we have length AB, the shortest length BC, and the length AB, which is the longest length, is greater than by remaining length, which is the frame length in this length BC. Length AD plus length, so length AB is BC is 20 plus 50. So mo Japon 30 length AD, 35 plus 30. So 20 and then 65. 30, 70. So ni-satisfy siya sa non-Grashof chain. So we have outward mechanism. Outward mechanism, the longest length BC is the coupler. All other link can cross the frame line AD, both oscillating in outward manner. So mo ni ang typical illustration sa outward mechanism. So we have outward mechanism man. So this link AB is mo na ang direction into outward, and then so the longest BC, so mo na ni ang position na nasa guide na sa length AB and the length DC. So ang iyang ang pag-oscillate sa DC pa outward pod. So ato inspect kung this mechanism satisfies the Grashof's non-Grashof's chain. So link we have length DC is the shortest link, and then the length BC we have the longest link. It's greater than by uh, so dire 35 link AB. So link AB plus length AD. Length DC plus length BC is equals to length DC is 20, 50, 70. So mo Japon, then length AB 35 plus length AD is 30, which is 65. So we have last topic. We have transition chain. Transition chain, a 4-bar mechanism, is consider as transition chain if satisfied by ganyan. So, equal sila sa element or minimum, which is where minimum is the shortest length and the length maximum is the longest length. And the L prime plus L double prime is two remaining links. A transition chain is similar with Grashof's chain, except that in some configuration all links become collinear. So that this particular form is known as uncertainty configurations. So, so we have this example of transition chain. So we have parallelogram mechanism, deltoid or kite mechanism, and rhombus mechanism. So ato na i-figure out kung nganong uncertainty configuration siya. So, what pasabot, dili siya kanang ideal nga mechanism. So, we have this parallelogram mechanisms. So, parallelogram mechanisms, both length AB and CD moves in same directions as shown this figure. All inversions of parallelogram mechanism are double crank mechanisms. So, sa parallelogram, so we have equal length of these two links, and this length pod, the longer length is equal to sa usa ka link. So, so in some instance, all revolute pairs become collinear as shown this. So, mo ana niya forma. So, ana. So, ana. So, if extreme care is taken, linkages can continue being in a parallelogram behavior. However, in some cases, the linkage can flip into anti-parallelogram. So, if the perfect ang iyang dimensions yun, so, mo flip siya into anti-parallelogram mechanisms. So, in this we have element minimum, so, equal sa ang ilahang uh, equal sa ang ilahang pagsum sa L min plus L maximum is equals to the two remaining link. So we have deltoid or kite mechanism. So deltoid or kite mechanism, when the equal lengths of the links are adjacent to each other, and the longer length is held fixed. So the resulting linkage is a crank and rocker mechanism as shown in this figure. So similarly, this type of mechanism also has a uncertain mechanism. So, mao na ang iyahang path of the motion of the input link. And this links DC mao sa niyang motions. So, naay oscillations nga nahitabo sa link DC. And we have rhombus mechanism. So, rhombus mechanism when equal lengths of the links are adjacent to each other. So, when equal lengths, so kani is adjacent sila. Adjacent, this adjacent pod. Diba? So, length is held fixed. The resulting linkage is a double crank mechanism as shown in this figure. So again, this type of mechanism also has uncertain configurations. Okay. So that's all. Thank you.